starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon or good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join us today. My name is Joni Ogg, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to welcome all of you to today's webinar. We've got a really exciting presentation for you today hosted by Passport Online. And today's webinar will be a panel discussion moderated by our good friend, Mary Pat Sullivan, CTC, President of Sullivan Marketing Advisors, along with Amanda Cabeceras, I hope I said that right, Amanda, Sales and Support Specialist for Passport Online. Amanda, Mary Pat, and our travel agent panel will be discussing, do I still need a website? Yes, it's important for your business. And Mary Pat will be introducing the members of the panel during her discussion, as well as Amanda. Before we get started, just a reminder that we will welcome your questions, and you can type them in the panel on the side of your screen, and we will get to those after the webinar is almost complete, or at least they've finished their information. You are all muted, and that's so that we don't have any background noise. Just want to let you know that. And when our speakers are finished with their presentation, we will do the questions and call it a day. And so that everybody knows, this is also being recorded. I'm going to turn the microphone over now to Mary Pat and Amanda so they can get started. Welcome, Amanda and Mary Pat. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. Thank you very, very much. So, folks, we're so happy to be here. Joni knows I'm a humongous fan of the travel professional community and of all of you that are among the best in the business, and we know that. So we're so happy to be with you guys today. And we're bringing some of your colleagues on so they can share a little bit about how they use the Passport Online website products for their business and why they're working for them, because we think that's more important than you even hearing from us. But so, Amanda, let's share a little bit about who our guests are. So we'll show you guys these slides and welcome our guests into the studio, and then I'm going to turn it over to Amanda to start. So look at that, up close and personal with my Long Island friend, Deb Fogarty. Deb runs an agency called Be Well Travel, has skyrocketed this business in the last couple of years. I happen to know Deb's personal story pretty well because she's from Long Island, and is a very specialized agency, has some really cool businesses, specializes in cruises, wellness getaways, spa retreats. She does beer cruises, very, very cool wine cruises, and has been using Nextsite for her website since 2014. And Deb's in Florida. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you.
So great to have you with us. All right. And Pete N is joining us today from Travel Concierge and C-Sail. Pete has two separate websites that he works with Passport Online on. The first responder site, which is so cool, folks. And if you get a chance to take a look, really great business. He does a lot of group business, a lot of very specialized business, member of NextGen. Actually, so is Deb. I didn't mention that before. 10 years experience in the business, Nextsite user since 2016. Has some great websites. Both of these sites have a lot of specialty products on them, group cruises and special cruises at sea. So we're really excited to have you with us, Pete. Welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to have you. Thank you. And also joining us today is Adam Barnes. He clearly has the coolest accent when you hear Adam talk of any of us, on me and my Long Island accent aside. He's been in the business since 1998, CLIA and ARC accredited agency, specializes in cruise and tour. As you'll see when we go through this, the Passport Online content that supports the back end of your websites has 100 of the top cruise and tour suppliers, and Amanda will go through all of that, but a real benefit when you have a heavy cruise and tour business. He's been a Nextsite user since 2016. Welcome, Adam.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
There you go. You had to say something a little bit stronger so we could hear the accent.
I had to, right?
All right, and now I'm going to turn it over to our team in Portland, Oregon, where Passport Online is located. And for those of you that don't know, they are in Eclipse Central. So Amanda and Cynthia are in the headquarters in Portland right now, and they're going to take us through a little bit of the product. And we're hoping that they don't get stuck in their offices with the eclipse coming. So Amanda, it's off to you.
Thank you, Mary Pat. So I just wanted to thank all of these agents for joining us today. We asked each of them specifically to join us because not only are they Passport Online users, but each of them really successfully use their website in a different way, which we'll get into a little bit more detail later. But in case you were unfamiliar with Passport Online, I wanted to take a second to introduce ourselves and explain a bit what we do and who we are. We've been in the business of website technology for the past 20 years, and we've been working with travel agents and consortia for all of that time. As a result, we power over 3,000 agency websites and 200 host agency and IC websites. And because of that, we have over 6 million consumers that shop on our websites each and every month. And we also have a large participation in our social media program, ESP, which includes over 1,500 agency Facebook pages, which reach nearly 1 million Facebook users. So I just kind of wanted to quickly go over what we're going to talk about today, and then we'll jump right into it. So today we're going to cover why a website is so critical to your business, what exactly makes a website great, and then how Passport Online can help you. So let's just get right into it. So why exactly do you need a website? Well, many small businesses run a lean operation and they focus on necessities and urgent matters, only spending money when they need to. So it's easy to see why some business owners might think a website is more of a luxury item that they can afford to live without. And some people might even believe that a Facebook page is enough for an online presence, or that simply a sign with a phone number will generate some calls. And then a lot of people still lean on that traditional mailer type marketing and believe that that'll help them grow their business. But the truth is, the only way to start promoting a business is by building a professional website. Your website acts as a portal so customers can learn more about your company, as well as research product information and determine first and foremost if they want to do business for you. It's your first way to introduce yourself to your customers. If you're a small business owner, it's really important to realize that a website isn't an expensive luxury or frivolous endeavor, but it's really just an affordable, fundamental tool that every company needs. And so why do we think this exactly? Well, more than 2.4 billion people use the internet each and every day, and 90% of those people have purchased something or contacted a company online in the last 12 months. So simply by not having a website, you're just missing out on a large piece of that.
So Amanda, can I jump in here before you move on from here?
Of course.
And I know you're going to take us into all the reasons, the proven reasons why you need a website, but let's ask our panel for a moment. And so Pete, let's start with you. What can you tell me about why you believe your business needs a website and what role it plays for your agency?
Well, it plays a great role for our agency. One, it gives a lot of credibility because a lot of people, they're afraid of, companies being legit, especially when it's a newer company, and our agency is a newer agency, even though we work through Nexion. And we get a lot of people that find, especially since we do our large first responders cruises, where our group rates are sometimes significantly lower than online. People are like, is this legit? Does this company have a website that we can go on and look at, reviews, social media links? We can put our sponsors onto the website to give more credibility, the partners that we work through. So just having that alone is 100% worth the cost of what it is to run a site through you guys. So that's definitely a big part of our reason for having the site.
I totally agree with that. I tell people all the time, what do you do when you're looking for any kind of business? Even if it's local in your neighborhood, you go on their site first to check them out. And so I agree 1,000% on the credibility piece. Deb, what about you? Your business is very specialized, but why do you think it's important for you to have a website for your business?
Well, I'm saying basically the same thing. I just feel that having a website is critical to my agency for validity, and that it's part of my branding because it allows my clients to get to know who I am and what my agency is all about. And then I reevaluate my website every 6 months to make sure that everything I have on there is relevant. And then every year I update it regardless, so it always looks fresh and up to date.
And that's a new headshot, so we know you've updated it recently.
Yes, it is.
Adam, how about you on your business? I know credibility is important to everybody. So what do you have to add in terms of why the website is crucial to your business?
Well, I mean, this day and age, obviously the World Wide Web is where everyone goes. I've built my business around the web. I mean, this particular, I've been in the industry obviously since 1998, but I've only had this business just over 2 years. And last year we did 5 million in sales just from my websites. So it shows that it's a proven, people would sooner buy online than they would going into a store because it's easier. It's an easier way for people to book things and to have things right at their fingertips.
I'm really glad you pointed that out. Think about that, 5 million in business from your website. This industry is so diverse.
So, Just from the website. I'm going to reach 12 million this year.
Wow, that's fabulous. That's just fabulous. But the thing that's interesting, and I know everybody on the line, maybe some people on the line thinking, well, I'm never going to do 5 million on my website. Well, every business is different. That's the beauty of this industry. There's small, tiny little businesses and big businesses, and you all have different ways of running your business. But I think now, Amanda, we're going to take you through why it doesn't really matter what kind of travel agency business you have. You need to be playing here. So, Amanda, back to you.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. We're just going to really kind of break down some of the nitty gritty. A lot of the things we're going to talk about, these agents have touched on, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and just go through this. So like we mentioned, first impressions count, and you only get one. We live in a world where people Google before they shop. They visit online site reviews like Yelp before they even buy. They check in via Facebook as they go about their day. If you're visiting a new restaurant, the first thing you're going to do is you're probably going to look online for their menu and their images, and that's how you make decisions. And because of this, you really want your first impression to be the best it can be. Like I said, you only have one shot at that first impression. Beginning with your website, consumers are passing judgments and making decisions about whether or not they even will spend time with your company. They're likely to dismiss you entirely if they believe you don't have a website, or if your website does not reflect the type of experience they're seeking from a business. And walking through the mall isn't the only way people check out stores and small businesses these days, just to kind of go in this a little bit deeper. With regular visits to sites like Google, customers are constantly seeking where they plan to make their purchases. You can pre-plan your entire shopping trip before you even leave your house if you need to buy in person, or you're just going to buy online. And it's so important to make sure your business is well represented on these sites by first and foremost having a website. It's also important that your website is being represented on each of the online search engines, review sites, and other online spots your business may be considered for customer review. Basically, just kind of utilizing all of the avenues that people may have to find you. Beyond having your URL available, you need to be sure your street address, your phone number, your email, whatever your contact information, make sure that's easily available. And if you attended our previous webinar on social media, you also learned how crucial we think it is to have social media links on your website as well. And then your small business will gain instant credibility. I think all three of our agents touched on this, and that tells you that this one is really important. Today, more and more consumers use the internet to search for the products or services they need. Your small business will gain credibility by having a website. Without one, potential customers will go to your competitors that have one, just simply based off of ease, as well as the credibility in your business. And then kind of on this subject, more than just why do you need a website, but what kind of website you need. If you already have a website, but it's really homemade, having it professionally redesigned will provide your business with a professional image that will actually inspire even greater confidence with the future customer. For home-based businesses, this is particularly beneficial since you don't have a storefront to promote your products or services. And a website saves you money. This may come as a surprise, and we know as small owners you may not think you can afford a professional website, but the truth is you really can't afford to not have one. The cost of designing a website varies once it's up and running. Often a website for a small business generally costs under $100 a month, in some cases, like Passport Online, as little as $55 per month. And compared with the cost of a newspaper ad, when you consider the potential market you can reach with a website, it's a very cost-effective way to promote your business. And a website saves you time. Providing information to your customers takes time, whether it's on the phone, face-to-face, in a brochure, or in emails. With an online catalog, you can provide lots of information about your products and services almost immediately. And once your website is up and running, it's available to your customers indefinitely, saving you time, and time is money. And just a little bit more, a website showcases your products and services online. Your website acts as a digital brochure, sharing up-to-date information about all of your offerings. A benefit of web publishing is that you can change information in real time, which means no waiting or paying for new print materials. Think of your website as a 24-hour sales site that answers to frequently asked questions, and in some cases can even begin the sales process. And websites with e-commerce and purchasing options allow users to make direct purchases online, which in turn simplifies sales for both you and your staff and your customers. And then this one's really important as well. Your website will enable your customers to stay informed. Like I mentioned in the last slide, you should really begin to think of your website as being your online brochure or catalog. It's much easier and quicker to update information about your products and services on your website than in print materials, making it a really effective way of letting your customers know about upcoming events, special promotions, group trips, anything like that, any new services you now offer. And unlike print ads, which become out of date really quickly, your website can always provide current information and news. And then your website is always accessible. Your website doesn't close down. They're open 24/7, even when you're not there. And this way you really never miss a customer. They're able to browse and shop at their leisure. They're able to kind of check out your business and hours that work for them, and then figure out a way to contact you after that. The website improves customer service and helps you connect with your customers. You can greatly reduce the cost of customer support by simply having an FAQ on your website or answering some simple questions, having content, different things like that. And in case it wasn't obvious yet, no website means losing business. This is the most important piece of this whole presentation. By now it's clear that if you don't have a website, you're missing out on opportunities for customers to find you, identify who you are, and really just decide if they're willing to spend money with you. Unfortunately,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to jump in there because this slide makes me think there's a couple people on this line who make some good money off their website. And Adam, I'm going to start with you because you mentioned it yourself already. But I know for a fact that you have a couple sites, and your sites generate trip requests. Now, on the Passport Online sites, you can set up a trip request, and your customers can fill it out and send it to you. And you get pretty strong activity there, and the business generated from your site is impressive. So I'd love your perspective on why you think your website is generating business for you.
Well, I mean, I number one reason is obviously I do spend money. You know, I spend money on my marketing, and you know, it generates because we're out there and we are marketing. Like most of my websites that I have, I'm getting over 30 to 40,000 hits per month. You know, on the website. So it's just giving the best thing the best advice I can give with a website is, you know, don't put too much content, too much wording on your main page. Put pictures and discounts and things like that on your main page. That's what catch people. And then if they want to search more, they click on it and then you can start talking. But your main page should always be very simple, you know, straight to it. This is Royal Caribbean. This is blah, blah, blah. This is, you know, that's what you should do. And have it so it's straight there. You know, put the best deals on the main page. You know, with Passport, you know, if you look at my websites, you'll see I have like Europe deals and this, and they're the best deals that are there, and that catches people's eyes, and then they want to search even more. And that would be my honest opinion with that.
And we're going to show some examples as Amanda goes through of just what you described and how things are set up on your site. So thank you, Adam. And Pete, I'm going to go to you because I know you do a good number of groups, and you even have, and you referenced your special website for the CE website. So maybe you can talk a little bit about how you use the group features and why it's important to you that you can customize and build these websites for your groups and for your special interest programs.
Well, as far as my groups are concerned, it's a great ability to create individual flyers for each group that you can promote. And then people, especially like for the first responders cruises that we do, then people can go on there and click on like all the like 2017 cruises, which ones we're offering. And then I can update the flyers as we go, like every couple of months, put a new flyer, new design. It'll be easy for them to share those flyers or link it to our social media and then share it from there. And then also, of course, you know, pricing details within the site. We can list the group details, like group rates we have available for different category rooms. So that's been a great part of our group business, and our group business has grown, you know, 300-fold over the last year. You know, thanks to being able to do some of that.
Oh, that's fabulous. And, we're going to talk social media, I know, as Amanda gets into this a little bit more, but Pete, you've done a really good job of integrating your social media into your websites, right? So you've built your social media following that way as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we've grown, our social media following has grown to our 3 pages that we have on Facebook to about 20,000 followers in our first year. And that just continues to grow, especially as we spend money on Facebook marketing for our groups and so forth.
Congrats. That's awesome. All right, Amanda, I'll send it back to you for a bit. Sorry for the interruption.
No, thank you. So with all of that, so now we've hopefully instilled in you a little bit about the fact that you need a website, you need to have that online presence. But we wanted to kind of get in a little bit to talk about what makes a website great. So we're going to discuss 4 key factors about what makes a website great, and then we're actually going to go into some specific examples of things we believe every website should include. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So what makes a website great? So I think that both Adam and Pete touched on some of these a little bit. So appearance, extraordinary content, functionality and responsive design, and then finally user-friendly. We're going to jump into each of these a little bit and talk exactly what this means in the context of a travel agency website. So appearance. So what makes an attractive site? I think Adam talked a bit about this. You really need to have these large, eye-catching images and things to pull in people's attention. So a website must be visually appealing and professional. Remember, it's reflecting your company, your products, and your services. Your website may be the first and only impression a potential customer receives of your company. And an attractive site is far more likely to generate a positive impression and keep visitors on your site once they arrive. So what exactly makes a site attractive? It'd be a good use of color. You can see each of these images we're going to show have large eye-catching images. They use colors that are appealing. Let's go through this quickly because we have a ton of examples to show you all. Text that's easily read. This is Deb's site, and you can see everything is clear and it's broken up. If you were on an actual computer, you could see this really clearly. Adam's site as well, very clear, not jumbled with too much text. It's really easy for people to read. And then big, beautiful images. These are just graphic and, pull people into your site a bit more. And then extraordinary content. Every website must have content. And along with style, your site must have substance. Remember that your audience is looking for information, so they are looking for more than just big, beautiful images that will help them make a decision. So it should be informative and relevant. Travel sites should always include offers, specials, and trips, and it's critical for these offers to be up to date and updated regularly. You really never want a customer to come to your site and find offers that are from 2015 on your site. And maintaining the offers displaying on your site can really be a daunting task, but partnering with a company who will feed the offers for you is a great solution. Use this opportunity to increase visitor confidence in your company's knowledge and competence. So we believe extraordinary content should always include short, organized copy. You can see same here. And content that's updated regularly. This is an example of some content in the Passport Online system. It's actually fed directly to these sites. So it'll always be up to date and there will never be expired content. And the content should be searchable with straightforward search filters. So these are very simple search filters. Here's what this looks like a little bit closer. And then here, if you want to get a little bit more detailed, it's very straightforward. This isn't going to confuse anybody, and they're not going to get lost or unable to find what they're looking for. A website should also have functionality and responsive design. On your website, everything must be in working order and cross-platform visibility. And put simply, your website needs to work. Every component of your site should work quickly and correctly. Broken and poorly constructed pieces will only leave your visitors frustrated and with a negative view of your company. And usability has always been of key importance in a successful website. Websites with an intuitive design and with images and aspects that are pleasing to the eye are naturally just going to attract more customers than those without these features. So what makes a website user-friendly? This one includes simplicity, fast-loading pages, minimal scroll, meaning that most of the information can be viewed in one screen without them having to search and search and search, a consistent layout and themes throughout your entire website, and then prominent logical navigation. So these aren't super specific examples, these are just more kind of overarching ideas, and we're going to get into a little bit to some of the specifics and how this all lays out. But first we wanted to talk a bit about how exactly Passport Online can help you. Passport Online is the industry leader in delivering the most comprehensive digital marketing solutions to suppliers, travel agents, and their consumers. Our reach is the most extensive in the industry, and we are proud to call the leading cruise lines, tour wholesalers, vacation packagers, consortia, and host agencies our partners. And we power over 6,000 agent websites with more than 6 million unique consumer shopping sessions every single month. We have 2 different website products to fit your need, whether you already have a website but would just like to add more up-to-date content on a regular basis, or you'd like the full website program. We'll get into those a little bit more detail, but we do want to talk a bit about exactly what our websites can do for you. But first, we believe every website should include 4 specific components, and actually Marilyn, our Vice President of Business Development, in an interview last week, I believe, kind of touched on these. And so we really wanted to highlight and bring some attention to each of these. So we believe every website should include unique content, shoppable content, testimonials that are specific to your agency, as well as destination highlight guides.
Hey, Amanda, can I break in here for a second?
Of
Because
course.
if you could go back to that slide. So Deb, you've done a really good job of adding testimonials to your site. And you've also done a good job of making the site be about you as part of your business, because your business is built around you and you sell the business. I mean, so can you talk a little bit about that, about how you pulled the testimonials together, why you think they're important, and why it's important to have your own personal identity kind of throughout the site?
Well, I started getting, people just raving about their trips, and especially in my groups, and when I'm with the groups, and people were just having a great time. And so when they come back from vacation, I ask them to write a review, and then I forward it on to the amazing support staff at Passport Online to add to my testimonial link, which kind of is combining with another question, but I love everyone to know who Deb Fogarty is, and not just Be Well Travel, that I'm creating their trips for them.
Well, and I think you just made a good point too, Deb, is that the support team, I know a lot of people sitting there going, I have to have a website and I got to do all this work. And I think, Adam and Pete may be a little more intimately involved in the nitty gritty of their sites, but you don't need to be. Deb,
Right.
nothing personal, but Deb's a good example. She's not an HTML wizard, right? Is that fair?
Right, fair.
and the team at Passport Online can do the work for you, so that's really important.
They're amazing. Right.
All right, Amanda, I just wanted to talk a little, because I know Deb has some great testimonials. I just wanted to talk about that. Go ahead, you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to kind of wrap up everything we've talked about, we're going to kind of just walk through the Passport Online website program and all the features that our websites include that really highlight each of these important characteristics we've discussed so far today. So our websites include multiple themes and over 30 layouts to choose from. We talked about how important it is for your website to look professional, be tailored to your business, and be aesthetically pleasing. So we're just going to go through, just got a lot of examples for each of these slides. So we're going to go through each of them pretty quickly to just kind of give you some ideas of the different themes and layouts. This is Deb's site again. This is Marlos, who is going to join us. So you can see a totally new layout. This is one of Adam's sites. Again, another layout, has the content, images, all of that. This is the first responders. So again, 4 very different looking sites. And here's just some of our other agency websites that we wanted to highlight as well. You can see each of these are, custom to personal taste and don't all look exactly the same. So you can really tailor this to kind of send the message you would like to send for your business. Our websites also include over 40 content-rich destination guides, with more being added all the time. You can see what these look like. So we'll feature different destinations, and then you can reach in and get some information about some specific locations. It comes with searchable content for these locations particularly, some information about each of them, and then as well as offers that are specific to the location that we're in. So the offers would display just that. So it's a really great kind of shopping and browsing tool for your customers if they just want to look around. Here's another example of some more in-depth information on each of these. Our websites also include unique shoppable content that's always up to date, and that's the most important piece of this that we've kind of talked about too, is that the content just needs to be up to date at all times. So we actually just take care of that for you. So this is some examples of how the content is fed onto your website. These would each, you can select more details and get some more details about each of these offers. Again, same thing. This is what more details would bring you. And then it would actually bring you into this basic overview of this exact location. So you can drill this down as specific as your agency is. If you have specific specialties or anything like that, this is a really good example of this. So this agent specializes in all-inclusive in resort travel. They really wanted to highlight some higher end travel as well. So if we select their all-inclusive button down here, this brings us to all-inclusive content. And any of these weddings, cruise would do the exact same thing. So you can really customize it to focus on what your agency would like to highlight. And our websites also include customizable pages to support groups and specialties. This is an example. This agency has, they always do custom groups, and they're actually family and friend groups and all sorts of things like that. And so they build pages around each of those groups. We're going to go through a couple of Adam's sites because Adam's actually done a really great job of, he has individual sites to highlight his individual specialties and relationships with different suppliers. So the sites support the content from each of these suppliers, which is a great way to just kind of drill that down. You can see all the different content. And then Pete's First Responders website is a really great example of this, so we wanted to make sure we pointed out also. So basically this whole website is specifically for these custom groups. And he does a really great job. So you can see each of these little drop-down menus would be a different trip. And then we'll be here. And then each of these go into more specific information for that particular sailing. I've worked a lot on this one, so I understand it pretty well, what's in here. But you can see each of these have individual pages for each of these different groups. And then it's just a really good way to highlight these types of specialties. And then our websites include supplier content from over 100 leading cruise and land suppliers. And we get our content directly from them, and it's updated on your sites on an almost daily basis. And then just a little bit more to go over. Our websites also have the ability to highlight consortia and host agency exclusives. And we work with most of the major host agencies in consortia. We just kind of will show you what this looks like highlighted on your website. So these are the search results if somebody did a search on your website for a particular sailing. All of the exclusives are going to be highlighted in different ways, either by the star or these onboard credits. It just depends on whatever your exclusives are, but they'll be here and they'll be readily available for your customers to see and have access to. Here's another example of what this would look like. And then here's a site, I just wanted to point this one out. They actually wanted to highlight, they built a tab and a page to just highlight these exclusives. So we can do all sorts of different things with these different preferred suppliers and things like that. And unique agency branding on every page with agent bios fully integrated into the site. So Deb's actually done a really great job of this. So she has a brand new logo, which is beautiful. And you can find it on every different page of her site. Here's another good example. So this logo carries over from page to page. We have built an agent bio page, and this actually continues to scroll down through all of their agents in their agency. Here's another one where each agent in the agency has a box that looks just like this. You can select this More About Me tab, and it goes into a full agent bio. Same with these over here. They actually click to the individual agent. So just a really great way to highlight your agents in your agency. If you wanted something more in depth, we've built pages just like this for different agents that really just introduce you to your customers, because I think, like we mentioned, they're making the decision to buy from you, and so they should get to know you. because you're a major part of this business. And then so just kind of showing you some different ways that these agent bios can be integrated into your site. So our websites also include social media integration and optional ESP social media posting to Facebook. So we can integrate all of your social media channels onto your website for you and help you connect those together, because it's a great way for people to find you. And like Pete said, you know, he does a lot of his business on social media. I know he posts videos and updates on his social media page, so it would make sense that he would want people to go find him on Facebook. And then recently this year, we've added an image library with hundreds of images, backgrounds, and banners that are available to our customers. It's kind of just a preview of what this looks like. So each of these, you can just select which images you like. You're welcome to use them on your own. You can ask support to add them for you, whatever you would like to do to highlight your agency's specialties. And finally, our websites are also mobile responsive and include SEO capabilities. This is probably one of the most important pieces of a website at this time, that websites are mobile responsive, because most of us, you know, do our browsing on our phone or our tablets. And just wanted to kind of quickly wrap this up with our website program. We do have 2 different website programs, Nextsite 2 and Vacation Port. Nextsite 2 is the complete website solution. It's a fully hosted, customized website solution with agency-controlled content from over 100 leading leisure travel suppliers, and it's fully branded and personalized. While Vacation Port is an integrated shopping website tool. It's a powerful shopping engine and e-marketing program, and it fully integrates into your existing website with content you can control from over 100 leading suppliers. If you had questions about that or wanted some more details about each of these or which one was right for you, Cynthia and I would be happy to answer these questions for you. And Passport Online, again, is a full-service technology company for the travel industry. Our reach is the most extensive in the industry, and we are proud to call the leading cruise lines, tour wholesalers, vacation packagers, consortia, and host agencies our partners. If you're not looking for a website, we do have several other products. We have some social media tools, online cruise booking. Just give us a call. Call myself or Cynthia, and we'd be happy to chat with you and figure out exactly which product is right for you, answer some questions about each of our products, anything like that.
Fantastic, Amanda. And Mary Pat, did you have anything you wanted to add, or then I'll go to the questions?
You know, before we get to questions, as Amanda was speaking, one of the things that we notice sometimes, I do a lot of, I'll look through customer websites, and I'm going to recommend that everybody on the line, if you have a website, shop your own website, because you don't think about it, but you really need to see if there's, in the case of Passport Online, you won't have old content because that's part of the benefit of working with them. But whoever your website provider is, or however you do your travel agency website, go shop your own site. Make sure you don't have broken links. Make sure you don't have content from 2014 or 2010, because trust me, I've found it, or content from suppliers that have gone out of business. I found that too. And make sure that you have the right social media links on your site, because that's another thing we discovered. Some people have what is share this on Facebook as a link on their site instead of a link to their Facebook page on their site. So just double check your social media links, shop your own website. That's my little piece of advice. Joni, you can take us to questions.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mary Pat. And that's actually really great advice. I did have a couple questions. One of them is, can these attributes be added to a host website, or would it be better to have a separate site?
Well, we can add anything to a site. I'm not sure what we can add the Vacation Port to a host site. I'm not sure of the question though.
Okay, well, I'll let her type in if she wants to get a little more explicit about that.
Yeah, and she can always give us a call too, and we can discuss that.
Okay. Another good question is, how long does it take to create a website?
You know, we always tell people that this can be as quick and as long as you would like it to be. So once we have the initial conversation with you, we'll basically tell you all the information we need from you, which is really not a lot. And we can have the website up and built by the end of one business day. It really is a short turnaround. If you prefer to be like more hands-on in the process and you want to go through a review process, then it can just take as long as it needs to take for you to be comfortable with your website going live. So we really want to make sure that you end up with the right product and the website that you're looking for. So like I said, it can take just a matter of a few hours up to as long as it needs to take to get it right.
Okay, perfect, great. Another question is, can supplier information like a preferred supplier agreement product be made available on an individual agent's site?
Absolutely. So one of the things I didn't mention about these sites is that you actually have full access to the administrative portion of your site. So you are able to go in and make edits and changes. And one of the things you can make changes to, or we can help you, are what we call your preferred supplier filters. So you can actually go in and set your preferred suppliers. You can choose suppliers that you just would prefer to not display on your website. So that would sort of create a ranking system for all of the offers that display, which gives you full control of what content you're actually showing on your website.
Okay, great. That was actually a question that was being typed in right then as you answered the question. So thank you for that. That was good timing. It's like you have ESP or something. So
we do.
I know. That's another one. You do have that. And another question is, can either of the two systems or the websites be integrated into an existing hosted site?
Yeah, so that's exactly what the Vacation Port product is. So it's basically through a series of simple HTML, you can actually add the Vacation Port directly to your site. So you would get access to the search boxes, search results, and offers displayed onto your existing site. So a lot of people do prefer to go through a web design company and have a whole custom website built. And the Vacation Port product is the perfect kind of solution to go alongside of that.
Okay. Someone's asking, can you send out email blasts to your clients utilizing these sites?
Yes, you can. With either site, when you're set up with either Vacation Port or Next Site, you have what's called the agent side, Agent Port, and you are able to go in, create an email, select the suppliers, create an email, and send those out. So it's a great tool. I love it because agents will use it when they book a an offer for a customer. They'll send it out and say, "Hey, I just booked this. Share with your friends," and then they can forward that on, and then the leads go back to the agency.
Okay, great. I think you've already answered this one. It was, do consortia incentives show up on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can. We'll go through and set that up for you. So that's some information we would get from you ahead of time, and then we'll make sure that all of your consortia and host agency exclusives are being displayed on the website.
Okay. Can the sites be tailored for content only?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Is it necessary to have social media access before having the website done?
No, we can always add it later. So that happens a lot. We'll get a site set up for our agencies, and then we'll help them set up their, social media, like their business Facebook, and then we just add that on later once it's been set up.
Okay. And then it's important to kind of note to that too is that we don't have to have all of the information up front to kind of tag onto that, because you do get full access to the support team with your subscription to this website program. And so they're here to help you Monday through Friday if you need to make those changes or edits or add social media or change an offer, whatever that might be. So it can be like an ongoing living piece.
Okay. Can my clients book vacations directly from my site?
We do have some suppliers that we can turn on booking within our system. And then too, we have our cruise booking engine as well. But too, you can always add affiliated links to the site. And you just need to send us those links and we can add them for you. But we do have Globus and their products, Pleasant Holidays. Those are bookable within our system on the tour side or the package side.
Okay. Someone's asking, what is the base cost for Next Site and Vacation Port?
Sure. So Next Site comes with a $250 setup fee, and then it's $55 per month. And that $55 per month gives you access to the support team, like I said, that helps us update all of the content for you on a daily basis. So it's kind of a set it and forget it thing, and we'll kind of take care of it for you. And then Vacation Port is a $150 setup fee, and then it's $45.75 per month.
Okay, great. Somebody asked a question about Adam's URL, and they apparently couldn't see it, or they wondered if you could share Adam's URL so they could look at his site.
That's fine.
Adam, are you still there? That's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can,
That's fine.
can you share what your URL is?
Which one? Which one?
You've got a million, right?
20.
I think that we looked at the Riverosity and then the Royal site.
The Riverosity. Yeah. You can show them. You can show them whatever they want. I don't know what they want to see.
Well, maybe
Okay.
Curiosity, the main one. I mean, we can send them there and then they can take a look.
Yeah, I mean, send them to Riverosity or their what is it, cruising? I can't even remember what my URLs are, but send them to the Royal Caribbean one. Royal Caribbean one. The Royal Caribbean one is the one that gives me the that I make the most out of. I'll be honest with you.
So Amanda, do you have that URL available?
Not. We can definitely find it and send it out if Adam doesn't mind. That's no problem.
No, I've got no.
Thank you, Adam.
Cruise and
Appreciate that.
RCCL, I believe.
Okay. I have an interesting question.
We're asking Jacob.
Okay, if your social media is connected to a previous occupation, so like say somebody had their Facebook page and they were another type of a business, could that be added, they're saying, so that they would not lose the followers from that previous occupation? It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly no harm in that. That would sort of be, I think that how you use social media is sort of up to your personal discretion. So if it's a natural transition to switch from a previous occupancy to this new profession and bring your followers with you, I don't think there'd be any harm in doing that at all. Maybe to make it clear and not confusing, let them know you're kind of switching gears and this is what you're doing now, or you're adding this new component to your business. But I don't think there's any harm in that.
Okay. This is an interesting question as well. I have another website provider who seems to promote certain suppliers at a time. And does Passport have more control over preferred suppliers equally, or?
Yeah, so that's something that we don't control that. You would control that on an individual basis. I understand the question fully. But so it would basically be, you can decide which suppliers show and don't show at all. And like we had mentioned, so you can, basically you would go through the suppliers that were available and you can kind of give them like a ranking to highly preferred, do not include. So there's a couple different steps to how you can decide to show them. And so that would allow you to pick which suppliers got the top spot. So basically what that means, if I picked a supplier as my #1, and every time if somebody did a search for a Caribbean cruise on my site, as long as my #1 supplier had an offer available that fit those search parameters, they would get the top spot. And then it would kind of go down in ranking from there. So you do have full control over that, and we're happy to help you set that up and kind of walk you through what the setup process is for that as well.
What's really cool about setting up the suppliers, you can set them as highly preferred, exclude, and exclude the ones you don't want to work with.
Yeah, so you would never have a supplier show up that you didn't want on your site. That's not going to happen because you, and Cynthia, correct me if I'm wrong, but you even have to turn them on, right? So if you're if you add a new supplier and it's not somebody that you as an agency want to work with, if you don't turn them on, it doesn't appear on your site. So it is very much controlled by the agency. Joni, I found the URL, so I just wanted to share it with everybody.
Thank you.
So the URL that Adam was referencing is cruisingrccl.net. cruisingrccl.net. So you can see that site that Adam referenced just now. So I didn't want to leave everybody without that.
Thank you. I think we're just going to take a couple more questions. And just so everybody knows, before we do end up the webinar, we're not quite done yet, but they've got their screen up there. Up on the screen there, you see the email address and the phone number. And these folks at Passport are amazing about responding back and answering your questions. And they're really there to help you understand the product. So don't hesitate to, if we didn't get to your question, to give them a call or shoot them an email. Is there a couple more questions? Someone says, how long is the website agreement for?
It's minimum 4 months.
Oh, gosh.
You don't have to pay for the 4 months up front, but it's just a minimum of 4 months.
Okay. And is there a cost when revising content?
Nope, that's all included. So you, like I said, you get access to the support team, and we understand that it's a living entity. These actual agents that are on the line right now could definitely answer that. We help them work on their sites on a really frequent basis, and it's just part of the support process. So you would just contact our support team, and then they would get back to you as soon as possible and then get these changes made for you with no additional charge.
Perfect. Okay, great. All right. Well, I think that we've answered most of the questions, but before we do end, I want to mention that we are fortunate to do a lot of business with Passport Online here at Travel Professional News, and we have done a number of different webinars on their social media product as well. So if you haven't seen those, just go to our site at travelprofessionalnews.com and you'll see the past webinars. And so you might be able to catch those if you missed them, because it's a really great product. ESP is a great product as well. So first of all, I just want to say thank you, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, agents. Thank you for being on the panel today. We really appreciate it. And then for all of you that listened in today, taking time out of your busy day, thank you. And we really hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.